Shekol Maisa B'Sefer Nichtavim. His heart that knows all our actions are written down. U'ba'esai Elikim Yavoi B'Mishpat Es Kol HaMasa. And at that time, Hashem is coming b'mishpat in all our actions, al kol nelam, on all the things that are hidden, in toivim ra, for good or for bad. Ki adam nidim Rosh Hashanah, for a person is judged in Rosh Hashanah. Ugzar din shaloi nechtam b'yom Kippurim, and his gzar din is sealed, is signed on Yom Kippur. Uve'esa sheyed adam, and at a time when a person is aware, ki aviu es dinoi lufnei melech basav adam, that he's being judged in front of an earthly king. Does he not have a great fear? And he's thinking of plans in his heart. He's seeing where his escape is, where his path to getting a good din is. He's thinking hard, tremendous charitzus, tremendous eshtadlus, to try to plan how he's going to win the din. He's so focused on his din, he's so engulfed in his din, he doesn't even think. It's not a havamina. It's not a havamina to focus right or left and to be Isaac in other chafatzim, to be Isaac in other desires. All that he's thinking about is his din. And of course, says the Rabbeinu Yain, al achas kama v'kama, on the Yomim Neiroim, Yimei Adin v'Hamishpat, v'einim yoidim ha'yeh mishpatam. Certainly it makes sense that a person is focused on his din. And Rabbeinu Yain advises, v'roi l'chol yirei Elokim, and he advises us, and certainly on our last day, where it's even shaykh to be Isaac in other asakim, certainly we pay heed to Rabbeinu Yain. He says it's roi l'chol yirei Elokim, l'mayit ba'asakav, to be memayit in other asakim, v'liyos ra'yinoisav nechatim. His thoughts should be settled, not focused on other things. And it should be kaiveya b'yoyim v'alayla time, l'spoidid b'chadarav, to think in his private chambers and private places, and to be mechapis dracha v'lachkar. He says, certainly during Aseres Yemei Tshuva, certainly to us who are holding on the last day, the last weekday of the Aseres Yemei Tshuva, it's roi for Yirei Elokim to be memayid in other asakim, and to be koiveya time, lisboidid b'chadarav, time, lonesome time, quiet time, to think, to be misboidid, to search his actions, to see through his actions. He says as well, v'lish by siach, it's an ace of tefillah. L'seis tefillah v'rina v'lahapil tchina. V'ha'ace ratzain. These 10 days are an ace ratzain. V'atefillah nishmas ba. The tefillah of a person is accepted during this time. Like it says in the pasuk in Yeshaya, V'ace ratzain anisicha. U'v'yoyim Yeshua azarticha. He brings as well the Gemara in Yevamas, Dirshu Hashem b'matzai, which seek Hashem when He is found. These are the Asara Yomim Shem Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. So Rabbeinu Yaina describes the Yirei Hashem, who's quite focused at this time. He's been made in other asakim, and he's busy, focused on being chayker as maisim. And he mentions as well in Eis Tefillah, that his Tefillah is the Shmas. So at this time that all of us who want to be, who desire, all of us here desire to be Yirei Hashem, and we're taking time out to think about our din, shtickle and tzibur, certainly we should pay heed to the words of Rabbeinu Yaina, and in our private time as well, spend some time in the last few hours before Yom Kippur, times of Hisboidus alone, to think through our actions, to think through our ways. At this man, I think there's a message of Yom Kippur that I want to share with everybody here. In Shari Tshuva, Rabbeinu Yoina gives a mashal that occurred to me a while back. It occurred to me that the mashal is much more profound than I thought all the years. There's a very famous kasha on this mashal of Rabbeinu Yoina, and I always allowed the question on the mashal to distract me from something that is said here that is profound, that I think might be maybe the most important thought for all of us on the last 2 days of the Aseres Yemei Tshuva. Perhaps the most important thought. The famous mashal of Rabbeinu Yoina, right at the beginning of Shari Tshuva, he brings a mashal l'katcha listim to a group of robbers. Shechavasham hamelech bebeisa asurim. The king locks these robbers in jail. V'chasru machteres, and they dig out a path out of the jail, and they all escape. The robbers, this group of robbers, dig a way out of jail and they escape. V'nishar echad mehem, and one of the robbers, one of the people in jail, remains in jail, despite that there's a way out. Basar beis hasayer, the one in charge of the jail comes, and he sees the machteres chasura. He sees that there's a dugout hole out of the jail. And there's one man, the jail is empty, for all have escaped. And there's one man who's just standing there. And the head of the jail smacks him with a stick. Omar Loy, and he says to this unfortunate human being, the hole is dug in front of you. How don't you save yourself? My whole life, I was distracted. I had a kasha for many years in this mashal, which I still have, but I don't want to talk about it. I was distracted. My whole life, when I heard this mashal of the prisoner who has a way out and doesn't escape, I thought Rabbeinu Yoina was looking for a situation where somebody has a great possibility, a great opportunity, and he doesn't take advantage of it. Being a sports fanatic, I always visualize second and third, nobody out, playoffs, down by a run, bottom 9. Opportunity, a little sacrifice fly, the first run comes in. Ground ball to second run comes in, you win. Opportunity. And the shame of not taking advantage of opportunity. An out, 2 outs, for heaven's sake, will bring in both runs, opportunity. And what a crime, what a shame not to take advantage of opportunity. I figured he was born before Abner Doubleday, so he didn't know about baseball. So Rabbeinu Yoina's mashal was opportunity. Jail, it opens up, you could have escaped, you didn't. That's what I thought. He looked for opportunity. He gave us a shame of somebody not taking advantage of opportunity. That was the depth, I thought, of Rabbeinu Yoina's mashal. And it occurred to me there's something so much deeper he's saying. There's something so much more profound and so much more exact about the mashal. I suspect that if we want in the last 24 hours before Yom Kippur to learn one thing, to grab onto something that we can build an entire lifetime on, in these 10 days of great opportunity, Skulas Hazman to become great, Skulas Hazman to gain Kirvus Hashem, I think there's a very specific message that lies in the mashal of Rabbeinu Yoina. I can't say here, it's a time of truth. I don't know if he intended this or not. I know he gives a mashal of opportunity and squandered opportunity. And the stupid fool who's standing in jail not leaving. So in my mind, I looked at squandered opportunity for the person who doesn't do tshuva and Aseres Yemei Tshuva. But I want to read a Rambam, and I gained chizuk. I gained chizuk because Rav Elia Brudny, the Mir Rosh Hashiva, came to this city, and he made this a major point of his drasha. So I gained chizuk that I think this is a message that's vital. The Rambam in Hilchos Tshuva in Perek Hey, the Rambam says as follows. He says, Al yavar b'machshavtecha, don't think This that tipshei umas ha'olam, this that the stupid goyim say, v'roiv golmei Yisro, and most Jewish bodies. The Rambam says it's a mistake that goyim make, and most Jewish bodies make. And they think Shakadosh Baruch Hu goyzra la'adam mitchilas briyasai li'osadik Rasha. It's already been predetermined. It's destined. We're tzaddikim or rishaim. Ein adover kain. It's not true. Elokol adam roi loi li'osadik Moshe Rabbeinu ay Rasha ki Yeravam. We all have choices in front of us. Rishus nesuna. We want to be a tzaddik. We want to be a Rasha. Now, before we say, you might have wondered, one of the manhigim of Klal Yisrael came to our city to teach us we have bechira. Is he joking? Rav Elia Brudny was matriach himself, a masmid, somebody who helps countless people, and he came to our city to tell us we have bechira. Eureka, we have bechira. The Rambam says the tipshei ha'umais, the entire Goyish world, which he called tipshei ha'umais, he says, Roiv golmei Yisrael believe we don't have bechira. Don't run so fast to say stupid people, and we for sure have none of that in us. The Rambam says, Roiv tipshei, Roiv golmei Yisrael. Most Jewish bodies believe we don't have bechira. Rabbi say it's pashut that the Yetzer Hara gets us in all different forms if we listen carefully to ourselves, where we believe that we don't really have choice. Our natures, we're a generation that's been exposed. We all saw when we were 3, 5, 10, whether it was our parents' television or our grandparents' television, or our friends' house's television. We've been exposed. And we all feel that being exposed, having seen, what choice do we really have? Where can we really go? If you're ever used to the voice, he comes in many different ways. Hashem will understand me. It's very hard to get worked up about that which I don't do that well. God understands. I understand me very well. Hashem will understand. He knows my nisyonis. He knows how hard. Essentially, I'm saying you can't be different. Essentially, I'm saying I'm stuck. I can't move. The Mirish Yeshiva asked the Kasha. Rav Elia Brudny asked the Kasha when he was here. He said that a person wants credit from Hashem. Listen to our tefillas. You know why? Because ein anu azei panim u'ksheiref loymar tzadikim anachnu v'loy chatanu. Hashem, you know why you should listen to my tefillas? Because I'm not brazen, I'm not a mechutziv to say to you, Hashem, I'm a tzaddik and I didn't sin. And he asks, it's laughable. You're in front of God who knows all. You're saying to Hashem, you imagine going in front of a judge who has a video that caught us on video robbing. You say to the judge, you really should listen to my bakashas for forgiveness, because I'm not being chutzpahdik to say I didn't do it. You stupid, I have a video. The chutzpah won't help right now. Brazenness won't help. You're in front of the knower of all, the Melech Malchei Amachim. What are you saying to him? God, I'm not being chutzpahdik to say I haven't made mistakes. And chutzpah will allow to say that. And brazenness will allow you to say to Hashem, stubbornness, that I didn't do anything wrong. He knows, he's seen, he's heard, he watches, ayin raya, oizen shemas. And of course, what we're asking credit for Hashem is that we separate from Roiv ha'olam. Most of the world thinks we can't help it, we're stuck. Most people think that way. Roiv goy, I'm not claiming that way. Most people think they're stuck. Stuck, I can't. It's impossible. People say it's a kanois in me, I despise it. People call their Rebbeim Iluyim, I hate it. My Rebbe's an Iluy, he's an Iluy. Rebbeim aren't Iluyim, but it's a way of saying he's the Rebbe club. Now Iluyish Rebbe, the one predisposed to learning Torah. His nature, he's the Iluy club. The Gemara in Nedarim says that often Talmidei Chacham's children are not Talmidei Chachamim. The Gemara wants to know why that occurs. And the Gemara, one of the answers, the Gemara Pei Aleph says, is Hashem wants to know Torah is not a Yerushalayim. It doesn't belong to a select few, the Eloi Club, the Frummi Club, the Tzaddik Club. You and I could be a Tzaddik. Harishos Nesuna. You and I have all the options in front of us. The Rambam brings the pasuk. Hein ha'adam haya ka'achad mimenu. It is true. A pasuk in the Torah. An Adam is ka'achad mimenu. An Adam is unique in the entire world. Lodas toivara. A person has a choice to choose good and choose bad. We can do something about our matziv. We can make ourselves better. We can go somewhere. We can change. Some people perceive the Yomim Nairam. So we take out our misfortune itself. I once saw a postcard. It said, Hashamnu Bagadnu Gazalnu on the outside, and on the inside it said, better luck next year. We take our poor unfortunate self and beat ourselves up. Guilty as charged. Bad, terrible, worse. Bad, terrible, wanton, all different things we accuse ourselves of. I thought wanton was a type of soup. All the things that were bad. Bad, lousy, worse. Every year an exercise. So we stand waiting. When are these days of beating ourselves up going to end? We're not in yeshiva. Sometimes the rebellion beat you up. Here you're supposed to do it yourself. Beat up, beat up, beat up. When I'm just waiting, might see him Kippur, let's sing and dance. Let's just scream, Hashem will Hakim. I'm out of here. No more beating up. Shalom alai nafshi. See you next year. I'll beat myself up a little more. Beat up. Hashem, we've done it all. Guilty as charged, each and every one of them. There's such a profound message of hope. There's something profound. If we're saying these things, we're saying we can be different. The only way we could say Hashamnu, that I've devastated my ruchnius, is by saying it's possible for me. Hashamnu means shemama, to desolate. It means that I am really a spiritual person that craves ruchnius. I'm a beautiful structure. We run quickly to Bagadnu. Hashamnu means to take something that's gorgeous, that's magnificent, and to cause desolation, to cause damage. First you have to chap what a beautiful structure we are. And then by looking, by seeing, by watching, we brought desolation to something beautiful. We've done damage to something beautiful. And we can stop. We can make it beautiful again. We can stop desolating. That's the message of tshuva. The message of tshuva is not we're bad, terrible. The message of tshuva is that it's shaykh for us to be tzaddikim. That we believe we can move, not easy, not quickly, not suddenly, but with effort, with focusing where we're up to, slowly moving the ship. We can move towards Dibarnu Daifi, we speak Lashon Hara. Could we really stop? Yes. In a second, no. We could stop the easier stuff and move towards process. But we can turn this ship. We can head somewhere. That it's possible. That's the chiddush of tshuva. That's the message of tshuva. That we have bechira. What Roiv Golmei Yisrael don't believe. That a yid can do something. This mashal of Rabbeinu Yoina is so profound. Rabbeinu Yoina describes the jail opens up. And you can escape and you stay in jail as the mashal for somebody who doesn't utilize tshuva. How precise. It's not any opportunity. Rabbeinu Yoina's mashal was people stay locked up. The locked up fools of the world who don't think it's shaykh for greatness, who don't think it's shaykh to move. They don't believe it. A certain bacher had difficult nisyanis. And his Rebbe told me, he's a Ben Torah, fiery Ben Torah today. His Rebbe said he was dead. I don't believe in Bechira, he was dead. He doesn't believe choice. You can make decisions and grow. We can be better husbands, better fathers, better sons, better siblings. That we really have the choice to be better, to work on ourselves, to be more diligent, to be bigger masmidim. that we really can make teeth changes better. That's the message of this Man Hashana. It's Skulas Hazman for Kirvus Hashem, and in this Skulas Hazman there's a profound message that we have to internalize. We have to get freed from the shackles of all those who believe you can't change. There's no possibility of greatness. You're stuck. That's it. You're stuck. Finished. David HaMelech LeDavid Hashem, we've been saying this whole precious month. He says to Hashem, Micheni ba'oirech mishar, please guide me in the correct path. Leman shayrei. I apologize to talk in a street way, but I want to say it, Leman shayrei. It's a little revenge for me. I once, a Rav at a Levaya in front of a lot of Frei Yidden, when he translated Tillim, he translated thou shall not, and it bothered me. Torah is talking today. It's live, it's relevant, it's not archaic. And in the precious Tillim, David HaMelech davens, Necheni b'orech mishar, Hashem, please set me in the right path. Leman shayrei, to stick it, to punch them in the nose. Leman shayrei. Shayrei, those that stare at me, saying I'm hopeless. Shayrei, to be sure, means to stare at. Means those that said about David HaMelech, Ein Yeshuasa v'Elokim Selah. Those that said to David HaMelech, you have no opportunity to change. You're finished, done, you're out. There were people that said about David HaMelech, you're out. What a fascinating motivation of all the things to daven to Hashem. Hashem, please let me be matzliach. Micheni b'orech mishar. You know why? To show those people, those fools, those shayrei, those people who look at me and say, finished, you're done, you're out. No possibility of change, of tshuva, of elevation, of growing. Hashem, please guide me in the correct path. I want all the shayrei to learn a deep lesson. I want all of Klal Yisrael to learn a deep lesson. The lesson that a person can grow, that a person can work their way out, a person can work their way up. I think we're zeiche, all of us, to be in a yeshiva, to be in a community, in a city that's about Aliyah, that believes in people growing, that believes in people picking up, elevating, changing, developing, that believes in Bechira, that we're a minority of a minority. We're a minority as a Yid, and within the Yid, people don't believe in Bechira. They don't believe in tshuva, it's words. It's a season. Of course we don't like the season, we wait for it over. If we understood the season, we wouldn't want to let go of the Yemei Tshuva. We couldn't get enough. We'd want more Yemei Elul, more Yemei Aseres Yemei Tshuva, opportunity, schos, beautiful days. Days of belief that you and I can get better. We can concentrate more by davening. How much do we fight? Do we really think we space out? We think about all the different things. Who battles? Who cares to battle? Who thinks they could be successful in this battle? It's hopeless. We think about all different things. Our mind wanders. That's it. It's not. With fight and struggle, one bracha, one word, tefillah, daven to Hashem for help, our little bit that we do. We can turn it around. We can change it. It's not that person over there who's the flip out. That funny guy, we always ask ourselves, could that happen? I was not part of the Eloi club, the flip out club. It's all nonsense. Harishus nisuna to all of us, you and I. Don't touch your chest if you don't believe it. If you don't believe you can change, don't you dare pound yourself. Don't touch yourself. What are you hitting? An innocent person, an unchangeable person. If you want to stay in jail, don't touch. But if you want to be freed, if you want to go out, if you want to know we can soar, we can move, we can go places. We're not locked. We're not stuck in old habits. It's true, we notice we have very little patience. We tend to get so frustrated with others. We say Ashamnus because we can change it. Slowly, carefully, not all at once, with unbelievable siyata d'shmaya. Value the little thing. Appreciate the smallest step towards. The tiniest step, and we could do it. A guy wrote me a letter. He wrote me a letter that he intended to give to his mama. He never gave it, but he intended to give it to his mama. He's a kid who can't sit to save his life. ADHD squared. He can't sit. And he wrote a letter to his mama. It's nageh to every single one of us. He wrote to his mama, you think, and everybody in my life, nobody on earth knows me. Nobody on this earth knows me. Everybody thinks I don't care. I'm disinterested in Ruchnius. I'm always running out of davening, learning. What's Ruchnius? What yeshiva? Davening, learning. I'm always outside. I'm never there. I can't sit for a minute. My Rebbe starts learning. 2 minutes later, I'm done. I don't care. He said that I care more than any guy in my share, I believe, to be in there. But it's so hard. I leave when I couldn't sit anymore 4 minutes ago, and I stay 4 minutes more and leave. But it's only 10 minutes. It's never good enough. I'm always told, come back in, come back in, come back in. I'm always not good enough. Does anybody notice how hard I struggle? We're not valuing the small accomplishment, the small fight. I promise, take a bacher like this, and I've seen this 100 times. Value, did you see? He fought to stay in 2 more minutes. He left, insufficient. He's outside, he was only here 10 minutes. But you know, he struggled the last 2. Precious, 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 holy, successful, beautiful. Karban Lashem, gorgeous, from Baal Tshuva. He's a gorgeous human being who gave to Hashem, valuable, precious, right to be celebrated. If it's understood the value of the person, fighting, struggling, putting in. Don't play for the world. The world doesn't understand Bechira. In the world, there are good guys and bad guys. In the world, he's the bad guy. He'll never be the good guy. Because staying 10 minutes doesn't make you a good guy. He doesn't lose. All the good guys lose. Hashem Yerachim, the good guys lose. The Rebbe loses. His Rebbe called me up. That the Bacher told me he sent you a letter. He's never been open to anybody on earth. And his Rebbe said, that you should tell me the secret. So I said, Rebbe, do you know how hard he cares to stay in? The Rebbe said, I want to just tell myself, I'm a Yekisha person. The Rebbe said, quote, a paraphrase. I'm a Yekisha person, but I do see him out a lot. He said, Rebbe, wake up. Wake up! There's Bechira. There's choice. He's the bad guy. Nebuch on you, you rigid man. You get angry at your wife and you think you're stuck. Nebuch. One time, please don't say something to your wife once, I beg you, Rebbe. I'm not talking about davening anymore. One time, please don't say the next time you're angry at your wife. You're a little rigid. You probably knock her a lot and you think it's hopeless. Much like this boy who can't stay davening. But do you know how valuable it is that he stays in 10 minutes, not 8? You know how hard he tries? Usually they're the hardest trying boys. Until people train them, there's no Bechira, and then they stop trying. That's usually. They're usually the hardest trying boys. The hardest one, if you have 10 kids in your family, 9 sit easily and 1 hard, they usually try harder than the other 9, usually. Because it's hard when everybody wants to be good. Until they learn what the rest of us smarties know, there's no Bechira, Hashem Yerachim. Until they fall for the great lie of humanity, there's no Bechira, you're stuck. When they're boxed in jail, they stop trying also. Like the Rebbe and like everybody else, Mazel Tov, another guy locked in jail for life, because it's impossible. Because you're stuck. Because does it really count that you fought those 2 extra minutes? See, he learns what the Rebbe learned long ago when he's always yelling at his wife. He's very rigid man. He never misses a davening. What he says to his wife, Hashem Yerachim, you're just stuck. He was lucky he's the pattern he's stuck in landed him a good job. And his pattern gets him thrown out of school. We're all stuck in our patterns. But it's all a lie. So why are we banging if that's true? What's Hashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibaldoifi, what? Why are you banging? What are you beating up? We're stuck. And the answer is neither the Rebbe nor the student. He who says, I'm a yeka, he says to me, you know you can change and be more patient with people. You're not stuck being a yeka. You can be more patient, you can learn it. Much like his 2 minutes, I would actually ask you to learn from him, Rebbe. His 2 minutes of struggle is precious. If you would be a little less rigid on some of boys, it would also be precious. And if I would come a little more on time, it would be precious. Because the struggle is so precious and valuable. And Shuvah Shaykh, it doesn't, we're in a society where it can't be done in a minute, so who is it worth it? And can it be done? Yes. Process over time, with care, with fight. It can be done, yes. There's something called Shuvah. There's something called Steiging. This must be said in this space medrash in this city that believes in the Yachid, believes in Bechira, from the Miyut to Miyut. From the Miyut already that are Yidden, and the Rambam says most Yidden don't believe in it. Roiv Golme Yisrael, most Jewish bodies, don't believe that we can soar. That a person with effort, with fight, can become a master. We've seen it. We've seen it. Not by him, not by them, by us. We've seen people who cared, who made effort, that it's celebrated each fight, each battle, and it's noticed, it's appreciated, it's only worth to those who believe in Bechira. If you can't change, so is it really worth it? The answer is we can. But I think we have to utilize a chaparang, this last weekday of Aseres Yemei Tshuva, this precious gift of 10 days of Tshuva, and the precious gift that we have now of 2 days of Tshuva. The precious 2 days of tshuva we have in front of us. Utilize the gift to say we can soar, we can become closer to Hashem, we can become more godly, we can be truer to Torah and mitzvahs, we can learn with more asmada, we can daven better, we can focus better. Start a process, fight. It's valuable. A little more concentration. One time we didn't. Beautiful. It's beautiful. If change is not shaykh, it's just an act of nothingness. It's just a nothing, worthless. But since it is possible, b'chira, since a person, like the Rambam brings the pasuk, that a person is heina adam or yikechad mimenu, ladas toivera, a person is unique. He's shaykh to b'chira. There's no predisposition. There's no nature. Stop with all the words, all the statements, all the psychologists, all the ones who lock us in. He's this, she's that, they're that. All the different labelings and groups that say why we can't. Chuck it all away. Say, Hashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu. Hashem, I stand here in front of you saying I recognize that I can be special and I will be special and I've begun a process of being special. I want to tell you, remember that one time, Hashem, I wanted to speak Lashon Hara. It was Erev Yom Kippur. I badly wanted to say a word of Lashon Hara. I didn't say it. It was Erev Yom Kippur. And by Mincha, I focused. I mamish got Hashem till Hashivenu. The first 3 brachas I banged off. And then I even got the Chainin afterwards. 4. Mamish b'kavani. You saw that? You saw that fight, Hashem? I learned the lesson of these days. On the last of Aseres Yemei Tshuva, I incorporated in my life that I'm going to struggle and fight because I know I can head somewhere slow, careful, with siyata d'shmaya. All of us should be zeicha, ubacharta b'chaim, to recognize bechira, to recognize that the choice is ours, to live a lifetime of people that utilize bechira, to move, to try, to struggle, to give an erech to every little ruchnistic struggle. Every battle of others and ours is precious. Every time that we're boiling our svasim, that we want to say something mean to somebody else and we don't, I know astvarim, we hold it in precious. Every time we push to break a teva, every extra minute we sat when it was so hard, another minute of learning, another block of Gemara, precious. Those of us that recognize this bechira, that recognize the great gift of Chaim that Hashem gave us, to be b'charta b'chaim, that we can choose it, and the only way we have Chaim is when we're beicher b'chaim, when we struggle. And there's nothing wrong with having flaws. It's the name of the world, Olam Anasayim. There's something wrong with not recognizing there's Bechira. There's the possibility of fighting. All of us should be Zaycha to be counted amongst the Bnei Chayil, the soldiers, that the Messiah Sharm says, who fight, who recognize that it's worthwhile to fight, that it's precious to fight. We should all be Zaycha to that Kiddush Shamayim that comes from those that are fighting to be more godly, to be more loyal to Hashem. Should be Gemar Chesima Taiva for us all.